In the bustling metropolis of Neo-Tokyo, amidst towering skyscrapers and neon-lit streets, there existed an elite group of individuals known as the Cosmic Guardians. Tasked with protecting the city from extraterrestrial threats, these 5 extraordinary teenagers were humanity's last line of defense against the vast expanse of the cosmos. However, their world was about to be turned upside down, as they encountered an alien who claimed to be their savior. Aiko, the leader of the Cosmic Guardians, was a young woman with flowing silver hair and piercing blue eyes. Her spirit animal, a majestic white wolf, symbolized her unwavering determination and fierce loyalty. Beside her stood Ken, a stoic young man with midnight black hair and eyes that mirrored the depths of space. His connection to the cosmos was unbreakable, granting him the ability to manipulate gravity at will. Next was Hana, whose vibrant red hair cascaded down her back like a fiery waterfall. As a master of technology, she could manipulate machinery with a mere thought, making her an invaluable asset to the team. Then came Hiro, a playful yet cunning young man with emerald green hair and eyes that sparkled with mischief. He possessed the power of teleportation, allowing him to traverse the city with ease. And finally there was Yumi, whose graceful lavender hair and gentle violet eyes hinted at her unique ability to heal both physical wounds and emotional scars. Together, they were a force to be reckoned with, having thwarted countless alien invasions and safeguarded humanity's future. However, their most daunting challenge was yet to come. As the sun began its descent, casting long shadows across the city, a colossal spaceship emerged from behind the moon, blocking out the light of the stars. Its arrival sent shockwaves through Neo-Tokyo, shaking the very foundations of the city. Aiko and her fellow guardians raced to the source of the disturbance, their hearts pounding with a mixture of fear and determination. As they approached the site, the full extent of the spaceship's colossal size became apparent. It dwarfed the surrounding skyscrapers, its metallic exterior gleaming ominously under the moonlight. But it was what emerged from the ship that truly sent chills down their spines. An alien, tall and imposing with skin the color of a nebula and eyes like burning stars, stepped out onto the street. Its presence seemed to warp the very fabric of reality, creating ripples of energy around its form. "Greetings, inhabitants of this insignificant planet," boomed the alien, its voice echoing with an otherworldly resonance that seemed to shake the very core of their beings. "I am Xylar, and I have come to deliver your planet from its impending doom." The alien's words hung in the air, leaving the Guardians bewildered and uneasy. "What do you mean?" Aiko asked, her voice trembling slightly as she struggled to comprehend the cryptic message. Xylar regarded them for a moment, his nebulous eyes seeming to peer into their very souls. "Your world is on a collision course with a celestial anomaly that threatens to obliterate all life," he revealed, his voice resonating with a deep sense of urgency. "Only I can avert this catastrophe, but my assistance comes at a price." The Guardians exchanged uneasy glances, their minds racing to comprehend the implications of Xylar's words. As the weight of their potential doom settled upon them, Aiko, ever the resolute leader, stepped forward. "What price?" she asked, her voice betraying none of the turmoil that raged within her. Xylar's gaze turned to Aiko, and for a moment she felt as though he were dissecting her very being. "Your most precious treasure," he replied cryptically, leaving the Guardians suspended in a mixture of confusion and dread. As the full implications of Xylar's words reverberated through their ranks, the Guardians found themselves at a crossroads. The fate of humanity rested on their shoulders, and the cost of salvation was a mystery they had to solve. With a heavy sense of responsibility settling upon them, they retreated to their headquarters, the Celestial Citadel, to strategize. Within the Citadel, the Guardians gathered in the command center, their faces illuminated by the soft glow of the console. The atmosphere was thick with tension as they grappled with Xylar's cryptic ultimatum. What could he possibly want from us? Hana finally broke the silence, her voice laced with worry as she manipulated a holographic projection of Xylar, trying to glean some insight from his enigmatic features. "We have nothing that I would consider valuable," Hiro added, his usual playful demeanor replaced by a somber frown. The room fell silent once more as they each wrestled with their thoughts, the weight of their impending doom pressing down upon them like a suffocating blanket. Just when the despair threatened to engulf them entirely, Aiko, ever the beacon of hope, raised her head. Her gaze, though troubled, held a steely resolve that inspired confidence in her companions. "We may not know what Xylar wants," she began, her voice firm despite the turmoil within. "But we cannot afford to let fear dictate our actions. We are the cosmic guardians, and we have faced impossible odds before. This is just another test of our strength and unity." Her words, imbued with the spirit of resilience, seemed to stir something within her companions. One by one they rose to their feet, their faces hardening with newfound determination. Ken, who had been uncharacteristically silent, finally spoke, his voice low but resolute. "He has given us an opportunity to bargain, and bargain we shall. We don't have much time, so let's start with the obvious," Ken explained, turning to face the others. "The 5 of us are linked to the 5 celestial bodies that protect the Earth. We draw our powers from them. If we were to lose those celestial links, we would lose our powers, and so would the city." Hiro nodded, his eyes gleaming with understanding. "So if we offer to give up our powers, he might let us keep our lives." Ken shook his head, his expression grim. "I think he wants something more than that. Why else would he single out the Cosmic Guardians instead of just taking over the city? He probably wants to take our power sources themselves, the celestial bodies." Aiko gasped, realizing the gravity of Ken's deduction. It was a horrifying prospect, yet one that made grim sense in light of Xylar's cryptic ultimatum. But how could they possibly bargain with an entity so immensely powerful, especially when their own strength was directly tied to the celestial bodies that Xylar coveted? The realization of their precarious situation hung heavy in the air, casting long shadows of doubt and despair over the Guardians. Yet amidst the gloom, Aiko's spirit refused to be dampened. She knew that surrender was not an option. "We won't let him take our power sources without a fight," she declared, her voice ringing with conviction. As Aiko rallied her companions, readying them for an imminent showdown with the formidable Xylar, the stakes had never been higher. The fate of Neo-Tokyo, perhaps even the entire human race, teetered precariously in the balance. With the knowledge that their very existence was hanging by a thread, the Guardians prepared to make their stand. Their journey led them through treacherous landscapes and perilous encounters that pushed them to their physical and emotional limits. Along the way, they discovered long-forgotten secrets about the true nature of their powers and the ancient bonds connecting them to the celestial realm. But as they drew closer to their ultimate goal, they also faced their greatest fears and inner demons, which threatened to tear their team apart. Amidst the chaos and uncertainty, one question echoed in their minds: would they be able to fulfill their destiny as the Cosmic Guardians and save not only their city, but the entire human race from the clutches of the enigmatic Xylar? As the narrative unfolded, each Guardian confronted their deepest fears and personal challenges. Aiko grappled with doubts about her leadership abilities, questioning whether she was worthy of the trust her team placed in her. Ken, the stoic warrior, wrestled with a haunting past that threatened to consume him, while Hana's brilliance as a tech expert was challenged by a crippling fear of failure. Hiro's carefree demeanor masked a deep-seated insecurity about his place among the Guardians, and Yumi struggled to overcome her own selflessness, learning to prioritize her own needs and well-being for the greater good. Throughout their trials, the Guardians learned that true strength lay not only in their individual abilities, but also in their bonds of friendship, loyalty, and love. They discovered that by embracing their vulnerabilities and confronting their fears head-on, they became not just stronger individuals, but an unbreakable team. Now, standing united and empowered, the Guardians were ready to face their final showdown with Xylar and his forces. The battle that ensued was epic in scale and intensity, pushing the Guardians to the very edge of their abilities. They fought valiantly, utilizing not only their unique powers, but also their newfound emotional and spiritual strength. As the fight reached its climax, each Guardian made a profound sacrifice, demonstrating the true depth of their courage, compassion, and selflessness. In the end, they triumphed over Xylar, thwarting his plans and securing the safety of Neo-Tokyo and humanity as a whole. However, the victory came at a cost. Each Guardian was forever changed by the sacrifices they had made, carrying the weight of their experiences and the scars of their battles. But as they surveyed the damage and began the arduous task of rebuilding, they did so with a renewed sense of purpose and gratitude for the bonds that had brought them together. They understood now that their journey was far from over. The universe was vast and unpredictable, and there would be new challenges and threats on the horizon. But as the Cosmic Guardians, they would face whatever came next, together, stronger and wiser than ever before.